Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the program. My name is William Hemsworth. It is great to be with you all. Great to be with you all again for today's episode. I'm pleased to welcome my guest, Kyle Pietrantonio. He's the executive director of the Duc In Altum Schools Collaborative. As an experienced school principal and teacher in Catholic schools, Kyle was a founding board member of Cristo Rey Atlantic Jesuit High School and previously served as head of school at Holy Spirit Prep in Atlanta. He is currently vice chair of the Ignatian House Board of Directors and works in executive search for partners in mission. Kyle and his wife, Megan, reside in Atlanta with their 3 children. Kyle, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Doing very well, William. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Oh, the pleasure's all mine. Thank you very much for coming on. And I know we were talking before we got on the air about the snow dusting in Atlanta. How are you guys all handling it down there in Atlanta?
Good. I'm sure a lot of people are hunkered down here. We don't deal with snow or the threat of snow very well in the South.
Right. Yeah, I get it. I was stationed there for 3 years, and like you said, it shuts down. And the same here as in Tucson. It snowed here a couple of years ago for about, I think we had 3 inches, and the whole city pretty much shut down. So it was kind of amazing to see. But it's for the best because we have no idea how to drive in that stuff. So
that's right.
But DIA, Duc In Altum, can you tell us a little bit about the organization, how you all got started?
Sure. It goes back, William, about 7 or 8 years at this point, when I was stepping into a headship role at a pre-K-12 Catholic school in Atlanta. And we were doing a lot of great things at the school. And in terms of Catholic culture and identity, we were kind of giving ourselves an A-, but the board said, we want to be even stronger in this arena. We want to go from an A- to an A or A+. Don't lose sight of that important domain from which all else stems in kind of authentic Catholic education. But I was hard pressed locally to find other models and paradigms of how we might even strengthen further the Catholic culture of our school. And I asked the board if I could, go on a little bit of an expedition and canvass the country. And I did that, spending time on hundreds of Catholic school websites, looking at mission statements, philosophies of ed, the pedigree of faculty and staff. Fast forward several months, William, and I ended up, having very provocative and inspired conversations with 5 other Catholic school leaders and a chaplain, all in different parts of the country, who were equally committed to doubling down on the Catholic culture and identity of their schools. And in their various schools and locales across the country, we're doing some really innovative things, parts of their school, students, faculty, parents, alumni. So we said we all ought to come together and have a working retreat and just rub shoulders and learn from one another. And so we convened about 7 years ago in Denver. Archbishop Aquila was very, very supportive of what we were trying to do. And we had a chaplain of a Catholic high school in Denver at the time who was very involved in this work. And we convened, and out of that kind of working retreat in Denver came the blueprint for what is now Duc In Altum Schools Collaborative. We incorporated as a 501c3 shortly thereafter. We were very much a working board for the early years of our organization. And then as the organization grew in the last 6 years, we've brought on some staff and pivoted about a year and a half ago to a membership-based model for schools to be able to offer more programming for schools, all with the focus of strengthening the Catholic culture in their institutions and organizations.
Great. How important are Catholic schools to strengthening that culture?
Well, I believe, William, and I think it's the belief of all those who have bought into the work of DIA that faithful Catholic schools are the last or one of the last remaining vehicles by which we can re-church our church. We've seen the sacramental demographics and the declines in baptismal rates and First Holy Communions and marriages in our church. The dropping birth rate. There's a lot of demographics that are really challenging. However, we have these vehicles that are our Catholic schools, and if we can renew them we have a wonderful opportunity for them to become, as we say in DIA, a furnace for evangelization and renewal for the church. So we've seen this. We've got many schools that are doing just glow in the dark work when it comes to formation of all that touch the mission of their school and growing. We've seen, many conversions and reversion experiences among, different constituencies in their schools when Catholic schools kind of take this leap and imagine themselves as a center of formation and evangelization.
Great. Great. I couldn't agree more. Now, you've been around a short time, a couple of years, I believe, and now you're in 43 states. What do you attribute the great growth to?
Well, I like the mantra, when good people know good people. And a lot of our work and growth over the last just short few years has really been like Christ grew the early church. I mean, it has been apostles, people who have seen the fruits that this organization and the fellowship that comes with it has borne at their school, and for them personally and professionally as a leader in a Catholic school. And they're spreading the word and evangelizing others. So it really has been very organic. We have not spent much resource on any intentional, marketing beyond the typical. So it really has been grassroots, which is wonderful and natural. We're not for everyone. I just had a call recently with a Catholic school who, by word of mouth, heard about our organization and said, I wish I knew of this 5-6 years ago, but I'm glad I know now. And so we have a lot of these just inquiries based on people who have heard about the work of DIA. We started with a big tentpole event, which still is a signature outreach for us in the fall of every year. We have it around JP2's feast day in the third week of October, and we call it the Summit. And that has become kind of our signature outreach for bringing together great Catholic speakers on topics of the faith and evangelization and catechesis and apologetics, but also abundant opportunities for sacramental grace. We believe our Catholic school leadership teams not just need to be fed intellectually to battle this spiritual war that we're in and the role their Catholic school is playing in that spiritual battle, but also they need to be fed sacramentally and spiritually. And so we make sure that there's abundant opportunities when we're together for fellowship, for that renewal in their own faith life through mass, opportunities for confession, veneration of relics. So it is a really unique professional development, a spiritual development experience for Catholic school teams. And that event has just geometrically grown over the years. We were in Nashville this past October, and we hit a high water mark with our attendance. And we'll be in sunny Orange County next October, hosted by J. Sarah Catholic High School, one of our member schools down in San Juan Capistrano, and that'll be an opportunity to evangelize kind of that part of our country with our mission, message, and model.
And Orange County is beautiful. I grew up in close to that area. Love it there.
It is a great place to visit for sure.
Definitely. Now, you mentioned before that this isn't for everyone. Is there like a vetting process for your member schools? What's that process like, if you're able to share that?
Sure. Yeah. So when a school or diocese, as we do have some dioceses that have come on as members, express interest, we like to have a video introduction kind of orientation meeting with whoever is the head of the organization. So often that's the principal or president. And then one or two others who are part of their leadership team. Often one or two, we ask someone who's over campus ministry or their chaplaincy program. And, what we're trying to ascertain in that orientation is, why do you want to be a part of this collaborative? We intentionally use the word collaborative because we want schools that not only can get ideas and best practices along these lines of faith formation, evangelization, but also have something to contribute.
Sure.
And so we've been intentional about building kind of a diverse tapestry of schools. I say we're curricular agnostic, so we have all sorts of Catholic schools with different curricular paradigms. We've got single sex and co-ed schools. We have just elementary K-8s, high schools. We have K-12 models. ordered, sponsored, diocesan, independent. So that has really helped enrich a lot of the discussions around the table at DIA. It's a unique mix of schools, and it's certainly, as you just suggested, William, across 43 states we've had schools plug into our programming, so geographically diverse as well. And we even have had schools abroad in the EU and in Central America plug in to our program.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I was just about to ask if there was any other countries, because I know of a couple friends that work at Catholic schools in Canada. So I was just curious. So you said the EU, and what was the other country you said?
Yes. We've had a couple of Catholic schools from the EU, Ireland,
Okay.
and then Belize in Central America. So, this is, again, just the spirit at work. I mean, people
Sure.
who have heard about us through social media or word of mouth. And so that's been really neat. And they lend a really unique perspective too to our conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. So what is the educational approach that you all take at DIA?
Yeah, we very much, William, modeled it off of some business models and platforms. So YPO, the Young Presidents Organization, or EO, the Entrepreneurial Organization, which are kind of secular frameworks to provide opportunities for forum and collaboration and networking and sharing. And so we've borrowed some of the playbook of some of those best practice business organizations to inform kind of our approach in building the network in DIA and sharing ideas and best practices.
All right. Now, obviously, it's a collaborative, and we're across 43 states now. Approximately how many schools and organizations do you think could you estimate are part of the collaborative now?
Yeah, so I mentioned about a year and a half ago, based on a lot of feedback from people who had plugged into our programming, saying, we want to be a part of this. Like there's this idea of club and fellowship, and so we turned on kind of a membership faucet, and we had 30 schools immediately sign on without any intentional marketing and programming, and we're likely going to be at 50 by by the start of next school year. So that's been really neat to see. And as part of our kind of strategic growth, it has been, building, benefits that this scale and this network of schools can offer mission-aligned strategic partners and vendors who, want to get into some of our strong schools. So that's been neat to see happen, and a great benefit and value add for the schools that and dioceses that are a part of DIA.
So what are some of those benefits that are offered for those that are part of DIA?
Yeah, there's a whole host, William, of benefits, and it's constantly dynamic and changing and growing. I'll spotlight just a few because they range really from the practical to the more amorphous, I would say, benefits. So practically, we've done a great job bridging into Catholic higher ed.
Okay.
So one of our beliefs is we need to look at this whole runway of formation of our young people from the time they're very young in preschool or early elementary school to the time they're through our prep schools and into college. And so we've built some really great bridges into some Catholic higher ed partners. Women. Part of that includes scholarships for graduates of DIA schools into some of those Catholic higher ed partners. And so that's a real tangible, practical benefit that, pays for membership in and of itself if you've got graduates going to some of our Catholic higher ed partners. We've aligned ourselves with a great test prep company called Ray Das, who is out of Florida, but is completely virtual, Catholic gentleman who I think has one of the best test prep organizations and approaches in the country, and his results merit it. And so, we've been able to provide, discounts to our school members who, want their students to take advantage of some of that college test prep work. So those are a couple of practical benefits, but on the website, there's a whole host of other benefits with partners that we've aligned ourselves with. Another one that comes to mind is the assessment for religious knowledge, which is a new outgrowth of the Sophia Institute. So one of the things we're interested in as an organization is understanding, where our students are in their catechetical knowledge and where our faculty are in terms of their catechetical knowledge. And so we've aligned ourselves with them to be able to provide, tools and resources to understand and benchmark that, and then help grow in the areas that those schools need growth in.
Yeah, and like you said, there's a long list of benefits. So if anyone's interested, check out the website at diaschools.org. Now, Kyle, if there were a school out there or a diocese they're interested in learning more about DIA and maybe how they can get the local schools involved, what could they do?
Certainly, they're welcome to contact me directly, William. My email is kyle@diaschools.org. They can sign up for information and newsletters on our website, diaschools.org. They're welcome to follow us on social media. We have an active presence on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn and Twitter to get a pulse on what our organization is doing. I always invite people to get a taste of DIA at the summit. I mean, I think if people generally walk away very wowed from that 2.5-day experience. And so mark your calendars for October 19th to the 21st in Orange County. We've got tremendous strategic partners and philanthropists who support our organization and help keep what is an amazing event, the cost very reasonable. We want people to come with at least one other person from their school or diocese, and ideally as a small team to take advantage of that programming.
Okay. So definitely take advantage of that. And of course, the website again is diaschools.org. Kyle, I thank you so much. Is there anything that you want to add? Oh, I'm sorry. One other question I just thought of. I know you did mentioned about the growth, about coming to 50 schools, maybe next school year. What do you think in the next 2-3 years, the growth of DIA may be?
Yeah, it's a question we're asking, William, at the board level. It's a timely question because part of the attraction to DIA is this idea of growing in fellowship and friendship with other folks that are in this vineyard together. Right. And so there's a tension of scale and intimacy, and that's something that we're going to have to navigate because. Part of our, I think, attractioning with people that you've seen now for 5 or 6 years, and you get to know their institution and what their challenges are and hopes and dreams. And so I think there's been a benefit to having an intimacy. I think it could be accomplished in a regional platform or model as well. So we're going to have to kind of see where the Lord takes this. But right now it's been onward and upward and casting out in the deep, as our name implies.
Well, great. Well, definitely keep you all in our prayers, and thank you for the work you're doing to spread the message that Catholic education has to offer in regard to the new evangelization and catechesis. And Kyle, I thank you for your time today. It's been fun talking with you.
Likewise, William. Thanks for all the work you're doing for the church.
Oh, thank you. God bless you.
God bless.
All right. Well, thank you, Kyle. I'm trying to get the Zoom. Zoom has been acting really weird today. Like, I can't get the window up to stop the recording for some reason. So okay. It's been really weird. Anyway, it's all recorded. And again, I thank you for your time today. It's been, like I said, really fun learning more about what you all are doing over there.
Great. And William, if there's anyone in the Tucson area that would like to learn more in your network, be sure to let me know.
I absolutely will. Thank you. Definitely.
All right. Have a good Saturday.
You too.